out, yes? And the fourth stage is depression. I think the closest memory, the most clear memory of the depression, which is fed by the bargaining, which is also a what if situation, is this one time we're at home and my mom was in the living room, my little sister was in the living room, and I don't know what I'd done, but my mom had scolded me, yes? But I think by the time she scolded me about something, I think it was like homework or something. I don't remember what exactly it was, but it was something. She quarreled, not quarreling, but like telling me off. And because I'd been piling up some of the what if questions, I was like, hey, so even I'm not good enough, because that was like what came to mind immediately. And then I go to my room and I'm trying to iron shit. I don't know, I was ironing, folding, whatever I was doing, of like trying to get less angry. And I was folding a particular cloth. And when I pick it out, there's a book that my pops had given me on my 15th. I don't remember the title of the book, but it was like this self-help books, because my dad was big on reading. And it flings out of the clothes, and I see it. And I'm looking through it, and I see my mom had signed on the back of the book. I'm going to try and find the book, and I'll put for you the pictures around here. But if I don't, I didn't find it, so don't stun me. But anyway, at the back, my mom had written a message, but at the front, my dad had written a message. So I'm looking through the book, and I open the page. And he was sort of, I want to say warning, but I don't say warning, but like, sort of like an alert, because in the message, he indicated about something of, if I'm not ever around, yeah, you are the protector of those three ladies. Yes, my mom and my two sisters. So in my head, I was like, oh, crap. So I've actually also failed at that, yes. Why? Because my mom just shouted at me. So I'm not doing things right, yeah. So I break down. Now when I break down, I think my mom had me from like the living room, and then she comes. And in that particular scenario, that was where I began to ask the what ifs, yes. And I remember something that my mom said that kind of helped me release the hate, the pain, the anger. Is she said something about there is nothing that can be done once it's like done, yes. And the best indication would be a very controversial question, which is you can't cry over spilt milk, yeah. So she kind of did the little comforting. My little sister walks in, she sees the both of us crying, because I start crying, my mom comes in, she starts crying, my little sister comes in, she also starts crying. So it's just a crying fiesta. After the whole that thing, I went through a scenario where I was no longer angry, but I feel like I was numb. And what do I mean by I was numb? I wouldn't really talk about his passing as much as I needed to. So I just said, you know what? If people are saying this man is dead, but nobody expects me to talk about it. And I began to go on like a destructive path. I was getting in trouble, I was doing the most random shit. Of like trying to give, and I also used his death as an excuse, because every time I'd be caught in like shit, someone would say, why are you doing these things? And then in my head I'd be like, bro, a man offered, why are you asking me this question? Can you just chill me? But like in the sense of, he decided to leave, meaning you and me, I can do my own thing, and y'all shouldn't ask me why I'm doing my own thing, because y'all didn't ask the dead body why they're doing that thing. You get? So it was that pattern of destructive behavior. And then lastly the last stage of grief, which there is a big misconception about this stage, is the stage of acceptance. Yes? Because even after the destructive behavior, there is a need to grow up. Yes? Because you can't always say you're doing a particular thing because you lost somebody. It gets old. Yes? And it's also something that I think I keep at the back of my mind, which is people can only tolerate your BS for so long. Yes? And it's also a conversation I had with my mom. After like multiple destructive behaviors, she kind of sat me down and told me, I can't stop loving you, yeah? Why? You're my son, yes? I can get angry at you 1, 2, 3 days, but I still have to talk to you, I still have to care for you. Why? Because you're my son. But there is a sect of people that are only around for so long, yes? They're only going to tolerate your destructive behavior for so long before they cut you off. Before they say, you know what, we're done, yes? We tried and we're done, yeah? And that brings into the acceptance stage, which is the last stage of grief. And in this stage, there is I talked about the misconception. Now, what is the misconception I'm talking about? You get to a point where everyone just expects you to be okay, yeah? And it also feeds into the statement of it gets better. I want to digress from statements like those because in my personal experience, it never gets better, yes? And don't just quote me on that, because what I mean by it never gets better is you're never going to stop hurting, yes? It just hurts a little less, yes? Because as you're dealing with the whole grief in all its diverse 5 stages, whether you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, there will be days when you're chill, like you're partying, you're excited, you're jumping up and down, you're very, very active, and then gets to a point where you just don't want to get out of bed, yes? And I think for me, that was, the hardest stage. It is the hardest stage